Hello, welcome to devlog 4. So, a lot has been added. I say this every time, but yeah, it's always true. So I redid the terrain generation. Just first off, everything is like pre-built, and then what I'm gonna do is have it like have randomly generated stuff inside and outside, just different kinds of like sections that will not be spawned or will be spawned. So each of these houses right now is just a default. I haven't added any randomization yet, but oh, actually I think the offset is random. Like they would spawn directly in the middle, but there's actually a random offset. It's pretty low right now, but that is there. Also, immediately what you can notice is I have a scanner, which is pretty cool. It's just like a really long flashlight, and it highlights the vectors and stuff, but I think it looks really cool with how the glow works as well. Yeah, that also brings me to the scanner. It has a bubble that comes out and in, kind of like Lethal Company, but it's better because you can hold right mouse button and it'll actually stay. You don't have to keep clicking it, which I think needs to be in the game by default. I'm getting sidetracked. What else about the terrain? Some of them actually do have some random stuff already. Let me see if I can find one. So there should be like pillars and some windows that are completely random. None spawned there. None. Damn, I'm getting really unlucky actually. Maybe it's broken. I'll have to look into that actually. Might be broken. Yes, it's broken. Okay, that's fine. What else? I have a debug thing at the top right. It's just to count my FPS because with how the terrain system works, I'm using CSG boxes, which you're really not supposed to use, and so I'm trying to minimize CPU usage wherever I can. I'm gonna add occlusion culling. There's gonna be whatever goes with that occlusion culling, and I think that should help a lot. Also, the game is gonna look like really simple, I think, but it's just gonna have some post-processing, kind of like Lethal Company. I don't want to rip off that game too much, but I really like the ideas it's got in it. The reason it works really well is because it actually is able to run. Okay, let me get back to spawn, and I'll see what else. So, scanning works a little differently now. It highlights just whatever's in the group that is called detectable. So now, what I plan to have is these little like QR codes. They're gonna have like text on them. It's not just gonna be a random nothing you can't read. But I want this to be the way that you slowly upgrade your character. Like you find these little QR codes in houses, and say for example you don't have this object UI thing that's like rotating. You wouldn't have that until you scan something in here. And I assume what you would do is you would scan this. It would like kind of, I guess the detectable group would go away, so you'd stop being able to detect it, and then it would pop up on your UI as like a thing you got. Yeah, this is just kind of the spawn area right now. It's work in progress. It's gonna be like a warehouse. Like you wake up and you're in a warehouse. What else? I added a little bit of post processing. I've been working on how the game looks recently. I think it's pretty rewarding to get that working right. Okay, settings. There's a lot of new settings that I've added. Open box. I don't think that was in the last update. So now you can open boxes by left clicking, and currently they just disappear. Oh, also, I added these boxes that have stuff inside of them, but they're completely broken because I made it weird and wrong. I'm probably just gonna have to remove them, which is fine with me, to be honest. They are a pain in the ass. Okay, what else? Maximum grab length, that's already a thing we went over. Sensitivity, I moved the FOV to another tab. I think it's in display. Render distance. Oh yeah, everything has tooltips now. I'll go over that later. So render distance actually does work now, which is cool. I should make my speed higher. Yeah, it actually does work, which is cool. It doesn't unload spawn. I made it not unload spawn, just for debug. I'll probably delete that later. Oh, also you can sprint. It's just 1.5% of your current speed, which is cool. Yeah, I want to add like a sneak later too, or like a crouch. Alright. Volume. I added this, but there's no volume currently because there's no sound effects. But I'll work on that later. So display. I've added a lot to this section because, like I said, I was working on visuals. So yeah, all of these do work. So I can't do this because I'm in the editor, but these all do what you think they do. VSync mode. A lot of stuff I don't really understand, but it is an option if you would like it. Maximum FPS. Yerp. It's a pretty good one. FOV I put in here. I don't know. I might change that later. I don't know. Oh, also the bug where the FOV like crashed the game. I don't know how. Either Godot fixed it or I fixed it. I don't know. Okay. SDFGI. All of these settings I have off by default because they're actually really intensive with how I have them right now. I assume if I toggle them some more or make them a little bit more different, it'll make the performance a little better. It's actually running quite well compared to my test runs earlier. Yeah, also it makes everything look kind of weird due to how it is. I don't know. Yeah. Has these cool little reflections though. I think are pretty interesting. But there's a problem. You can't really see anything. Some of this stuff on. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep these off, but they are settings. I'm probably gonna tweak them later once I get to like actually having the game finished. Texture filtering. There's no textures right now, so that doesn't do anything mostly. Occlusion culling. This also doesn't do anything, only because I don't have occlusion culling set up in the terrain things, like the chunks. So that will do something later, but it doesn't right now. Also, save changes thing. It works completely. It took a while to get working because there's actually not a lot of tutorials on how to work this. Yeah, I added tooltips for some of these in here. Shadow quality changes a lot of settings all at once, but it doesn't really impact anything, which is interesting. Yeah. Brightness, contrast, saturation. I made it so the pause menu is not affected by it, and if it is, it'll be inverted anyways. That was a suggestion I saw in my last video in the comments. Thank you for that. It's pretty good. Good idea. Other FPS. I have a debug menu anyways, so this does nothing. But this was my own implementation of it. I think that's it. I do have some like kind of ideas that I wanna get working. Guess I can show them off briefly. They're probably a bit like way too much. But here's one of the ideas. So you have like illusions because the story is you're like a robot that was not supposed to wake up. So you're kind of all fucked up in the head. It's pretty interesting looking, but I think it's just too heavy at the moment. It's just like way too much. Maybe if I lower it a little bit. There's also this idea. Okay, yeah, you can see the effect a little bit better if I get in full screen. Yeah, I don't know. I think the scratches are too much. I made this texture, but it looks pretty bad. I just need to make it a little more subtle. And I also want it to, like, you know how in Lethal Company, like the reflections, they actually bounce off of the scratches that are on the visor. It's really subtle, but I like that effect. So I think once I get that working, I'll make this a little more subtle, make it less fucked up looking, maybe. I don't know. That's just the idea I have. What is this? I remember I had two HUDs. I think I was just fucking around with this one. Yeah, this is just post-processing stuff. A little bit of sharpness on stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I think that's it. Maybe. Not entirely sure if I missed anything. There's been a lot of stuff that's been added and removed and added and removed. So, so the boxes, they're all colored differently. Like the thing above is colored differently. That's because they're a different tier. Like internally, there's different tiers. And I think the best one is yellow. I'll add like a little sign over there that says which one is what. But I think this one's common because it's gray. I think the next tier is green, and then blue, and then red, and then yellow. I think that's how it goes. That'll be implemented with more of the game systems later. I think that's it. Pretty sure that's it. Yeah, I've been working pretty hard on this game. If you have any comments, leave them below. Any suggestions, any ideas you want to share, anything like that, I really love hearing. Don't forget,